Welcome back, everybody. If you're here for the knockouts, bad bloods, and you just want all the breakdowns in the right places, you came to Flamingo Fight Talk. I'm your host, Kelby Derek, and my co-host, the one and the only, Derek Schramm. Let's go, guys. We're back in business. We're coming back hot. We're coming back swinging, and we're just going to just
Welcome
let it rip. Tater chip
back to Flamingo Fight Talk. Oh
at
man,
Flamingo
it's
Fight
good to
Talk.
do this again. It's good to do this again. Everyone listening, sorry for the
It really
delay
is.
in coming back. Clearly, y'all been waiting for it. No, sorry for how rusty we're going to be. It's been a couple years, buddy.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. It's on a. This is a new year, new beginnings. This is new us. We're new people. We have aged. We have
Yeah,
grown. We've
we're
gotten
old.
seasoned.
We're old.
We're old.
We ain't we ain't chugging natty daddies in the shed no more. You're in
Hmm.
the house, my dude.
I'm in a house, and you're in an apartment in a nice area. We can't complain.
Oh, I'm overlooking a parking lot. It's beautiful scenery.
It's beautiful scenery. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
So,
things.
hey, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Derek Schramm. I am 28 years old, living out of beautiful Orlando, Florida. And I've been a combat sports fan since I was practicing my Taekwondo kata in my living room, and Spike TV, UFC Reloaded, Frankie Edgar, Gray Maynard 2 came on, and I stopped. I sat down, crisscross applesauce in front of the TV, and watched War. And you know what? It was the first fight I saw, and I think it's still my favorite fight. What about you, Kelby?
I don't have as much of a fighting experience as my co-host. He's more of a legend than I am, but I do have some
Yeah.
fighting experiences. Um, Started off in high school wrestling. That's where I gained my first love for combat sports in general. Wrestling is always a good base. Outside of that, just basic, random, fun sparring sessions, practices. Always watching the fights throughout. I can't remember what was the first fight I think I saw. I think it was an Anderson Silva fight
Well, so was it
during
with me?
his prime. I want to say so. It was with you. It was the
I was
first
gonna say
true
with
time I've actually like sat down and watched a whole pay per view.
So I think when we started watching combat sports was actually we were watching the FIFA games when the US was actually good in the early 2010s, whatever year that was, because it was you, me, Clint,
Yeah,
Scott, Carlos, Charlie. We were all going out for the soccer games. We were high schoolers hitting up the wing house. And of course, on they had the fight posters, and I think it was Silva Weidman, the first one that we watched. And yeah, we saw Silva playing around and gets knocked out, and we're like, oh my god! And we definitely went back because I think we saw, we were watching the fights at Wink House for quite a long time, and I know we saw Silva snap his leg there. I know we saw the Diaz Connor fight at Wing House because
yeah.
there was the really drunk guy trying to fight with a bunch of high schoolers that were rooting for Conor McGregor, and he was Nate Diaz all day long.
Oh, those were the good old days. Sometimes the best things about the fight game is just hanging out with your boys, talking trash to the table behind you. Sometimes are the best things in life.
You know what? We had the full circle because we had, remember we were there for Connor's rise, and we were rooting for Connor so much. Like, and again, at Wing House, at this, at parties, like during the Cowboy fight. Yet the last Connor fight I think we all went out together to watch was his fight against Poirier. And I remember we're like, yeah, we're all rooting for Poirier. And the table, a couple tables away from us, it was like a group of like 10, had to be under 18, 16, 17. No, they had to be. But they were all like in the slacks, in the, like, the button up shirts. I'm like, oh, I remember when we used to do that. Ordering Diet Cokes instead of beer.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Diet Coke. Sometimes you just gotta get that little sugar in your life, keep the calories down low.
It's
Those Diet Cokes are pretty solid. I've been switching over to Diet Cokes lately. I've been digging it. Been
highly on diet soda. That's nice. But
yeah.
Kelby, this isn't Diet Coke talk. This isn't Flamingo soda talk. This is Flamingo
Tell me.
talk. So UFC. What number is it? 324. I couldn't do that smoothly. I couldn't remember. 324.
324 pay per view events, which is
Listen,
insane. I don't know if they
no
were
more
all
pay
pay
per
per
view.
view, but
No more pay per view.
hmm?
It's over. It's gone. Zip.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah, no more
It's
pay per
over.
view. Shout out to the joining of Paramount Plus and UFC combining forces to give us unlimited free pay. Well, they're not free. It's $8.99 a month on Paramount Plus with a premium subscription with ads on. But that is significantly better than us having to pay 69.99, 79.99. There was a time where it was cheaper than that, but if that way they were going, next thing you know, next year it was going to be 109.99. It was going to get a
If it
little
was
crazy.
$200, I'll let you watch. John Jones
$50 a
versus
fight.
Alex Pereira. No, that's a good fight. Not anymore. They're old. Nah, that's not really true. I'm just.
How are you feeling about
I,
this whole new?
I curse.
How are
I'm
you feeling
sorry.
about
I just
Paramount?
want to do it. Sorry, what was that? How am I feeling
How are
about
you feeling
Paramount?
about? Yeah,
I'm excited for it. So yeah, I'm excited for it. It's I don't have Paramount Plus. I'm gonna have to buy that. I'm gonna wait till probably a couple hours before the boys show up to watch the fight to do that. But yeah, like I'm excited. ESPN Plus. Everyone hated it, and I remember good times with it. We for I think the first year of ESPN Plus, me and you watched every single fight.
yes,
So pay per view fight night, start to finish. We absolutely did it, and it was great to be able to because that was like the first place we were able to actually do it and watch it that way. Because before it was on like Fox Sports, and you couldn't like go back and like I liked the streaming of it on ESPN Plus, but man, did it get crappy, didn't it? Like, what type of service can you not buy a pay per view on? Like, I'm trying to pay money, and they're
yes.
just like, nope.
Yeah, I remember a few times. Like, I was over there at my buddy's house and we paid for one of the fights and it just did not play. We
Yeah.
had to get a whole refund and everything. Could not figure it out. It just did not want to work. That whole deal with ESPN and UFC, especially at the end, it was atrocious. And for some reason, ESPN being such a main sports app TV
Mhm.
watching thing, the quality of their applications and everything was poor.
Well, people only
It's
used it for
customer
the
service poor.
and college football. Like
Correct.
that was it. So it was one of those things where it's like it worked for a while, and that's the only thing I like. All you get the revisionism of it. Like people want to be like, "Oh, it was always trash." I'm like, "Nah, it was good for several years," and then I think is when they re-signed it because they renewed the deal for a couple more years. It wasn't just the one. I think it was once they renewed it. That's when you saw the quality dip. But that's there are problems on both sides. Like UFC matchmaking is not any fault of ESPN.
No.
They're choosing to do half the fight nights post COVID at the Apex Center instead of being on the road. That's not an ESPN issue. That's a UFC issue. So hopefully, they just did a huge deal. They're trying to take over all combat sports. They want to be the monopoly. Well, hopefully they give us good content. But going into Paramount, I'm excited for it. I know we talked a little bit in our little test run we did that like there's like the two tiers, and it's kind of this. So like they did kind of bump it up. There's with ads, without ads. The basic is $8.99. You said.
Correct. Yes, $8.99 for the lowest prescription end, which is they call it a Paramount Plus Premium subscription. Even though
Mm.
it is the lowest standard, but they still call it premium.
It's a premium garbage is actually what it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Um, but you know what? We're about 10 minutes in. Let's cut it. Let's cut the crap. It's time to talk about fights. Time to really talk about fights. So we got UFC. Where's my thing? I'm so unorganized. We got UFC 324, and you know what? Hey, back to back weeks. Next week is UFC 325. So
Yeah, which is actually insane that we're doing that. Well, I guess they're trying to bang them out real quick because there's going to be a lull right before the White House card
well,
for
yeah, I think there's gonna be a lull
premium
because they're.
fighters.
I mean, yeah, like there. I mean, the rumor is 6, 7 title fights. I don't think that's going to happen. Um, I think there might be four. They've never done four.
I mean,
I
I
think
could see 3 or 4. Yeah, I could see 3 or 4 male, and then maybe 1 or 2 female.
oh no, I
Um,
don't. I think there's gonna be four title fights, is what I mean. Like it's probably gonna be like two male,
yeah,
one female, and a BMF or an interim would be how I would guess it. Obviously, we got plenty of time
yeah,
before then, but
correct.
it's kind of one of those things where it's like,
Yeah, we got
yeah,
plenty of time.
you make a stacked card, then yeah, of course it's going to take away from the rest of it for a while. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. As long as
Yeah,
at the end of the day, fight promotion, it's about entertainment. If you can gain the hype for a good show, in the end, it's worth it. It's only if the show sucks and you took all your good talent on that, and then we're going to have like a 3 month dry spell of crappy fights when it's not going to be a good thing. But honestly, this year on Paramount Plus, I think we're going to get nothing but bangers. I think next year, I mean, because here's what I mean. I think in that dry spell, at least in the main cards, maybe the prelims are going to suffer, but I think we are absolutely going to get entertaining fights. They might just not be big names because I feel like they're going to surge American stars this year to try to capture that audience again.
well, yes, no, they're going to. Dana White's going to want to try to capture the audience real fast and try to. I don't know. It's a weird one because there's such a. You think Dana White's going to go hard on trying to capture the audience with the new Paramount Plus deal?
I think they want to definitely because like I think they want to surge, and when I say American audience, I think I should rephrase that as English speaking stars.
Okay. Yes.
So like the Australian fighters, the British fighters, a guy like Diego Lopez who is Mexican, but or is he Mexican? I think he's Brazilian, but he represents Mexico. I might be wrong. But he speaks good English and that kind. I think they're going to really focus on building those guys. So like they're going to push a John Silva who's exciting and talks and stuff like that, and the other Brazilian guys that are more of a jiu-jitsu purist or not as like exciting and don't speak the language are just not going to push them the same way. I think that's the thing. I think we're going to get a lot of Dana White privilege with some, which is like people are going to act like it's new. I mean, that's kind of what happened after Connor when they, Sage Northcutt, Paige Van Zandt, Darren Till. You had a whole litany of English speaking fighters that they were pushing to try to get hype around them.
Yo, no, you're totally correct, especially after that whole Connor huge era that he went through, where everybody had their eye on Conor McGregor. It was the perfect time for Dana to push this new English speaking style way. And then he needs characters too. And he really is needing to push these characters because we do need the next huge superstar in the UFC. We need the next LeBron in the UFC. We need the next, Connor.
I
But
don't think there's
but
ever
you
going to be
kind
a
of disagree
LeBron.
with that because I've always said that, but you've always kind of like eh. But we do have a
No,
lot of good characters though.
well, you're always going to have your one central star that takes center stage. That's
Correct.
undebatable. But like, let's go back and like think of the pre-Connor times. It's like you had Silva and GSP and BJ Penn, and and they were fighting like Carlos Condit and Frankie Edgar and oh gosh, Forrest Griffin. Oh my God, I was thinking Forrest Griffin. I was going to say Stephen Bonner, but like
Oh
you
gosh.
had John Jones, but John Jones beat Leo de Machida. They beat Chael Sonnen, Silva, and Jones. Like
Yes.
that's saying like even before Connor, you had tons of personality. Like just look at light heavyweight. Rampage, Rashad, John, Chuck, Tito, Randy. Like, all of those
Very
guys.
high strung personality people.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think we just kind of need to get back to that.
Yes.
You know, um,
Stop wearing a suit and ties to the conferences. Start wearing your Hawaiian shirts.
Hawaii, wait, show up in a Hawaiian and these hands. Let's go. All right,
Yeah.
real quick.
If you had a fight at the UFC, you'd show up in a Hawaiian shirt.
Absolutely would. So we gotta we gotta talk about the real most important fight on UFC. What is this? I keep forgetting the name. 324. Very first fight of
Yes.
2026, the Paramount deal. We have Adam Fugit versus Ty Miller, very first fight of the new year. Do you think it's a missed opportunity to do it the same way as normal? Like, were they like, because that's something I've always felt when people are like, oh, like the first fight of the new year, Ustin Gaethje versus Patty Pimblett. No, that's the headliner. The first fight is Adam
Yeah,
Fugit
that's
and
the
Ty
headline.
Miller. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Imagine being Miller right now, being the first fight of 2026, the first fight on a new Paramount Plus deal. This
Six
is
and
all in
zero.
Ty Miller's hands.
Yeah, this would be
On if
year
you
of
look at Ty Miller, yeah, you look at Ty
year
Miller
of
on the
eternal
UFC
war.
page, he is so new that it's his face is still in black and white. They
Just
even
so you know,
had
this is
time yet to
also
put
his
him in color.
UFC debut. It's his UFC debut.
Oh, Ty Miller, don't know much about you. I know you're 6 and
Don't know
0,
anything about him. Just talking crap.
but Ty Miller, you got this, man. You got
I
this.
just,
Bring it home.
I just
7
always,
and 0.
I always find it funny when people are like, "Oh, first fight of the new year, Gaethje Patty." I'm like, it ain't the first fight. That's actually the last fight on the first card.
Yes.
It's like fight number 13 or 14, of the
Yeah.
new year. That doesn't sound as good. First headliner. There you go.
Yeah.
But question:
Yes.
let's talk. Let's go to the top of the card now, because frankly, early prelims, yeah, actually, I can run through the card real quick. Okay, we're opening up with a welterweight at 5 p.m., which I'm going to love the early start time. We haven't talked about that. Moving it from 10 to 9, I'm going to
Oh
appreciate
yes,
that.
that I forgot about that. Yeah, though that is absolutely amazing for people on the East Coast to get it
Yeah.
moved back an hour, and it's going to be really good for the bars and
Yeah,
nightlife
it's going
people
to be great
too.
for us. Well, like,
Yeah.
how many times, like, we are talking about the three title fight. You know what sucked?
What?
When they're going to do a three title fight main card. Everything goes to decision, and yeah, guess what? You're at a bar. It's going past like the fights are going to like 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, hey guys, the bar's closed. You guys got to go. And it's like, so like we'll leave a TV on in the parking lot for y'all. They'll
No, it
just
puts a lot
yeah,
of pressure on the workers.
yeah, yeah. It just sucks. But yeah, let's go through this card. So we got. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. Early prelims. The last round of the early prelims, we got Michael Johnson versus
Michael Johnson.
Alexander Hernandez. That's going to be a fun fight. I've always liked both those guys. Famously Alexander Hernandez.
Yes.
Talked all that smack about going. He's going to retire a cowboy and all that, and then Cowboy just put a beating on him. Yeah, Hernandez, what's he on? Like a four fight win streak? He beat Austin Hubbard in 2024. And then is that, let me just check October. Yeah, no, he beats him October 2024. And then, he goes and beats Kurt Hollaba, Chase Hooper, Diego Ferreira. So yeah, he's on a four fight win streak. He's kind of finally getting the put up, shut up time. And yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Johnson, he's good. He's always been
Yes.
good. So that'll be a
Michael
fun.
Johnson has that always been that all around solid fighter throughout his long, long career. And I still lean Hernandez in this fight, but I never rule out Michael Johnson in any fight. That man's a
Yeah,
stone cold killer.
yeah. So
Just a
my go-to
legend. He's one of the just an OG of the game.
he is one of those guys that made lightweight amazing. Like,
Correct.
he beat Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. Beat Dustin
Like,
Poirier. He fought Habib. Didn't win that fight, obviously, but he was
yeah,
up there for a while in the rankings.
yeah,
He always was
absolutely,
almost at that breaking point, but he never could get over that final hump. But nonetheless, you cannot take anything away from Michael Johnson.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna look up his record really quick.
Well, his record is as long as
Yeah, because
like,
it's a terrible record, like number wise.
well, yeah, no, it's not the best record. It's
There's
like
that.
35 and I don't know, 16 or something.
24 and 19. Yeah.
24-19. Wow, I was way off.
16 wins, 15 losses in the UFC. So he's like as close to a 500 fighter as you can get. But guess what? He's also on a three fight win streak. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
Gary Flowers, Ottman Azatire, I can't pronounce it, and then Daniel Zellhuber. And Zellhuber was kind of one of those guys that, there was some talk about him, but like,
yeah,
he has losses too, kind of up and down. So I think he's a great fighter, but, I'm interested. I think at this point in time, I am more interested in seeing Alexander Hernandez make it to the top of the division than a Michael Johnson, like Jim Miller esque, just keep it working type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, Michael Johnson is the perfect team member for the UFC in a sense of he's not going to get back up to the top. He's great to throw fighters
He's
at
kind of
him
like a
to see how
Magny
he
type,
does.
but he's kind of like a Magny type, but I feel like a little lower down the food chain.
Correct. Oh, that's actually a really great way of putting it.
So let's get into the prelims really quick. We got
Oh, yeah,
Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson, a nice flyweight bout. Light heavyweight, we got the return.
yeah, Alex Perez.
We got the return of Nikita Krylov, who I don't think he's been doing too good lately. Isn't he on a? Sorry, I should have all these things pulled up already. Yeah,
Well, I do know one thing with Alex Perez.
go
Alex
ahead.
Perez is on a two-fight losing streak. This is his comeback fight. He needs to win this fight,
Yeah,
and he hasn't really fought that much in the last 2 years.
yeah. So going off that, Nikita Krylov also on a two-fight losing streak. Dominic
Okay.
uh, Breas and I believe Bogdan, whatever his name is. Whatever. Meanwhile, Modestas Lukakas, who he's fighting, four-fight win streak. Last two wins being over Ion
Yeah.
Kudalaba and Paul Craig. So he's kind of working his way up there. Two are currently 7-4 in the UFC. So yeah, another fun fight. Um,
Yeah.
Next fight,
No,
we
that's
have
gonna be a really fun fight to watch. It'll be good for the fans. It'll be action packed.
yeah.
It'll
This is
just be a solid fight.
I believe a ranked light heavyweight fight too. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if they're both actively in the
Yes,
rankings, but I believe these guys are both like top, in the bottom, like outside the top 10, but still in the top 15 type fighters.
correct.
Then you have a
Nothing to
takeover
sleep on.
Garcia.
These are the type of fights you want to go watch and see who's going to break into the top 10. These are the fights that need to happen.
Well, these are both guys that they've been around. So like Krylov,
Um,
he's been going down.
Krylov has fought 41 times.